Hello again. Hi to everyone I haven't seen much of this year, and I apologise for not keeping my finger on the YouTube pulse, but the newly termed credit crunch hit us quite hard because Piers and I started from scratch with a new mortgage just 2 years ago. Once our 2-year fixed rate ended, our monthly mortgage payment rose by over £100 a month. Add to that the spiralling cost of motor fuel, food and energy prices, and I've found I've been having to work as much overtime as possible just to make ends meet. Factor in cooking, cleaning and general housekeeping, and it's left little time to write, film or edit videos for YouTube. However, I have still been keeping an eye on gay news events, and on a few occasions I would like to have brought some injustice or other to light. The latest one, which has caught my eye, was a news headline in the Independent newspaper in the UK. People are dying because gay men can't give blood. This was from Monday the 13th of October 2008. This is not a new subject for UK gay men. When I was 17 I followed my dad's lead and began to donate blood to the National Blood Transfusion Service. Then, as now, they used mobile units to set up a temporary venue with beds, nurses and doctors. After a jab in the thumb to test your blood, you were shown to a bed where a doctor would find a vein in your arm and insert the needle. After about 20 minutes, your pint of blood would be donated and you could go off to the recuperation room for tea and bickies. Job done. I went to numerous sessions until I reached my early 20s. Then what happened? What happened was the 1980s and the AIDS scaremongering which permeated the whole of society and made everyone paranoid, including public institutions and insurance companies who refused to offer life insurance to gay men anymore, or if they did, it was with premiums 2 or 3 times higher than everyone else. The government funded films and sent out 23 million leaflets to every home. The paranoia grew. Everyone thought the Black Death was on its way and we were all going to die.
There is now a danger that has become a threat to us all. It is a deadly disease and there is no known cure. The virus can be passed during sexual intercourse with an infected person. Anyone can get it, man or woman. So far it's been confined to small groups, but it's spreading. So protect yourself. And read this leaflet when it arrives. If you ignore AIDS, it could be the death of you. So don't die of ignorance.
And it permeated into the National Health Service, who you would have thought should have known better. But no. I went along to one of my 6 monthly blood transfusions, which incidentally we donate for free in the UK, and was initially asked to fill in a new questionnaire. It had very few questions on it, but included things like, are you a haemophiliac, a drug user, a homosexual? Being truthful, I ticked the last box. The nurse at the desk took one look at my answers and told me in no uncertain terms, I'm sorry, we have got no more use for your blood. When I asked why, she said it was because I was a homosexual. Although I explained that yes I was, but that I hadn't been with a partner in months and that I'd always had protected sex, she said it made no difference. I apparently now belonged to a high-risk group and they just couldn't take the chance. I was infuriated and belittled their so-called professionalism. They closed ranks at the desk and asked me to leave. One of the male nurses said that they were not prepared to risk anyone's life by using tainted blood, so I might as well accept the fact and, by the way, don't bother coming again. In 2001, the head of the National Blood Authority in the UK, Mike Fogden, even dubbed gay men like me evil and said we are prepared to put at risk the innocent life of an innocent patient, even a newborn child, to satisfy our own selfish prejudice. It's a thorn that's stuck in my side ever since, that feeling of being made out to be a second-class citizen and somehow unclean by health professionals. Annoyed and angered me then and still does. To quote the report, they're quite right about one thing. Safety is the first, second and third priority of blood donation. The whole point of giving blood is to save life, not endanger it. If gay donations really did endanger people, that would trump any commitment to anti-discrimination. Giving people AIDS obviously would not be a price worth paying for equality. But in reality that dilemma doesn't occur. Earlier this year, a 21-year-old gay electronics technician called Michael Caine launched a court case against the Australian Red Cross after they refused to take his blood. He wants gay men who exclusively practice safe sex, like him, to be allowed to donate like everyone else. The scientists testifying at the trial included the doctor who first created the blood bank, who came to apologise. They explained that blood banks now have to choose between two competing risks. On one side is the high risk of people dying because they are given old, stale blood due to a lack of donors. On the other side is the infinitesimally small risk of people dying because they have been given blood by condom-wearing gay men. The US epidemiologist and bioethicist Dr. Scott Halpern said 1 in 100 people who are infused with blood older than 14 days will die, and 13% of infused blood offered by the Red Cross is older than that. This, he explained, poses a risk thousands of times greater than the very worst predictions of HIV infection if you let gay men donate. Even in homophobic Russia, they've already lifted the ban on gay men donating blood, realising how out of date it is. You'd think after more than 20 years of research and education, the UK's health service would have seen sense and realised that, as terrible as the AIDS virus is, responsible gay men are no more likely to contract the virus than anyone else. And besides, they screen your blood before using it anyway. According to this report, one HIV positive blood donation will slip through every 5,769 years. That's one HIV positive donation will slip through every 5,769 years. In the meantime, the blood transfusion service is forever moaning that they need more donors, and yet are quite happy to deny up to 3 million potentially willing donors just because of their sexual orientation. Maybe their recent TV advertising should be revised somewhat to look like this.
Give blood and you can save someone's life today. Please don't leave it to someone else. Type your postcode into blood.co.uk.
Earlier this year, a 21-year-old gay electronics technician called Michael Caine
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off!